Breaking news from Prescott School District. You know, it's typical of media to drop really big news late on a Friday night, so no one cares. But this one got noticed. Got noticed by a bunch of angry parents. In fact, they posted this on Facebook, and so many angry parents left comments complaining and being just outrageously mad that they locked the comment sections and just said, if you got a problem with this, call the school. What kind of policies could be so bad that parent complaints made them lock the comment section? Oh, we're going to find out. Like I said, Prescott School District. This is in Prescott, Arkansas. Apparently this is coming from a local news station in Little Rock. So Prescott School District shared a few important policy changes that will be implemented during the upcoming school year, and some parents have not been happy about them. What do you think they could have done the parents wouldn't be happy about? The school district announced the updates to their 2022 through 23 student handbook in a Facebook post shared Friday. Well, I guess first off, important updates to the handbook should be definitely posted on Facebook. Very official. But the rules outlined new policies regarding cell phones, tardies, absences, and vapes. Prescott's new cell phone policy stated that no cell phones, smartwatches, earbuds, headphones, or any other electronic devices are allowed on campus at any time. If students need to bring an electronic device for personal reasons or a school-sponsored trip, it must be turned into the office or left in their vehicle during the day. Each violation of this rule will result in a $10 fine, and the student's parents will be contacted to come and pick up the phone. $10 fine. It's always comes down to the money, doesn't it? So this is weird. A lot of kids, it goes without saying, many kids literally depend on their phone for almost everything. You know, you ask a kid what their home phone number is and they can't tell you because everything's stored on their phone. Now, old people used to be, I can remember the phone number when I was in high school. No problem. I can remember my very first house. I can remember my home phone. It was still attached to the wall. Hilarious. But yeah, kids can't function today without having their phone. And they text with their friends, and while you're walking through the halls, you can listen to music or whatever. Who cares? They get free time throughout the day, and they should be able to have their phones. Some people do calculators on their phones. Some people take notes on their phones. Some people have a calendar where they need to make notes about homework assignments or team setups or whatever. Who cares? So take their phone away. That's one of the major rules. So the first violation, $10, and you have to call your parents to come pick up the phone. Now, which is funny because a few minutes ago they said if you needed a phone, you would leave it in the office. But this doesn't apply if you get caught with the phone. They have to call your parents to come get it instead of just leaving it at the phone, which is what they already offered to do. But nope, they have to piss off the parents. I guess this is part of the plan. Second offense, students will receive 3 days of in-school suspension. Third offense, 3 days of out-of-school suspension. Fourth offense will result in an expulsion recommendation. So if you get caught with a phone or a smartwatch or earbuds or, I don't know, any kind of thing they consider electronic devices, you get caught 4 times, you're out. They kick you out of school. So what if the only watch you have is a smartwatch? What about a Fitbit? Is that allowed? We want kids to be healthy now, right? But that's an electronic device. I think they would consider that. These seem a little bit like prison rules to me. We tell you what you can do, what you can have, when you can have it, and you get fined if you don't follow our arbitrary rules. There's a couple of other rules. We're going to get back to this. We're going to circle back in just a minute. So, parents express concern that removing all communication on campus will make it difficult for their kids to reach out to them about things like pickup arrangements or in case of emergency. Okay, I just need to get this off my chest here real quick. If the kids are not allowed to have phones anymore, the first thing that jumped to mind is that, well, My guess is the teachers are insisting they stop being recorded for their stupid antics. You know, the TikTok teachers and the trans activists and the people that are pushing the Black Lives Matter and the gay pride. And if they can't film them anymore, they can literally do whatever they want in the classroom now, and there's no proof, no evidence. That's the first thing that came to mind. And then I thought about it another second, and it got much, much darker. Everybody remembers the tragic incident in Uvalde, Texas a couple weeks ago. What if your kid is locked in the school and they can't call for help? You know how many kids in that school called their parents and called people that could come help them, called the cops, called 911? That's gone now. The school it might as well be on an island. Do you want our kids to be that helpless? Let that sink in for a minute. So additionally, Prescott's tardy policy has changed so that whenever a student accumulates 3 tardies for a class period, they will have to serve detention either before or after school. That is harsh. I guess that's for a whole year. It says tardy policy is 3 tardies for a class period. I'm supposing that's for a year. I'm going to not give them the benefit of the doubt and say that was probably for an entire year. If a student fails to show up to detention, they will not be allowed to participate in any extracurricular activities or school trips and might even have to attend Saturday school to make up the time. Stepping over the line a little bit? I guess maybe as a disciplinary measure you can make them not participate in extracurricular activities. They are extra, and you do have to have certain requirements to be able to do the extra stuff. I kind of get that. But now Saturday school? What is this, the Breakfast Club? Saturdays are their time. I don't think you can make them come in on a Saturday. What if you can't get them to school? What if the parents are working? What if they planned a vacation? No, Saturdays are off to me. You can't have that. Tardies will also be given out each time a student needs to leave the class to go to the restroom. I said earlier, these are prison rules. You can't go to the bathroom. This is a health hazard at this point. What if you have a medical condition that you need to go to the bathroom more frequently than other people? Okay, let's just say you have to. What about young girls going through menstruation? First time, second time, they're not quite got a pattern down yet. You need to go to the bathroom. Guess what? You need to go to the bathroom right quick. Okay, to deny these basic human rights. We talk about human rights and stuff, but these are human decencies. You can't get up and go to the bathroom, and if you do more than 3 times, you get punished? What kind of crazy nonsense is this? I understand why the parents are upset. This new policy has raised a lot of questions, including what this means for students who may have stomach issues or experience menstruation, and whether they've been given extra time in between classes for restroom breaks. Okay, yeah. Seriously, this is a problem. The policy on absences has also been changed so the student will be denied class credit if they have 10 unexcused absences. I'm assuming that's per year. 10 unexcused absences. Hey, you better not get sick. What if you get the Rona? You have to be out for a couple days. No, that's it. Sorry. This is per semester. Oh no, 10 excuse that per semester. So if you have a medical problem, you have an issue or something, or you have an emergency in your family, or something happens, you get 10 days, 2 weeks. You miss 2 weeks, boom, you're out. You fail. You got to repeat the whole class. Excused absences are only accepted in the form of doctor's notes, court, school business, or, quote, unusual circumstances. I'd like to see who gets to determine what that is. No more than 4 parent notes will be accepted per semester for excused absences. Oh, yeah, parents can't make the decision if their kids can stay out or not. No, you need to seek a higher power like a doctor or court. Parents have no rights anymore to their own children? Is that where we're getting at? I do not like the way this is going. After the 5th unexcused absence, a meeting will be called with the student and their parent to discuss the situation. Call me in. I'll discuss it with you. If a student has 10 unexcused absences, a letter will be sent notifying a parent that an FINS, Families in Need of Service. Oh, they're calling in the feds. a juvenile delinquency prevention program through the Youth Service Bureau. If this isn't Nazi youth nonsense, get the government involved in your kid. Get your kids out of school at this point. Lastly, Prescott's policy on vaping has changed. If a student is caught with any vape products, they will receive 3 days of in-school suspension. Students will receive 5 days of in-school suspension on the second offense and 3 days of out-of-school suspension on the third offense. Comment section was turned off after the original post, after it received a flood of messages from angry and concerned parents. The school district made no comment other than to say, contact your school office with questions, blah, blah, blah. So Prescott School, huh? Boy, they really want to get the grips on your children. And take away all their recording devices so they can't have any proof of what's happening to them in school. If this seems a little Orwellian to you, I think you nailed it. I think this school district is overreaching. I think they're a bit of a dictatorship. And I think this is dangerous for kids. Now, I mentioned the Uvalde thing. Who knows what kind of stuff can happen in the school these days? Are schools a safe place? For the most part, yes. Do schools do a good job of teaching kids? 50-50? I don't know. It seems to be heading in the wrong direction. But this new set of policies, they're treating your children like cattle. They're treating them like animals. You can't decide your own bodily autonomy. You can't decide when you need to go to the bathroom. Do you want that for your kids? What they're doing is they're training them to be good little subservient government employees. Well, I know for damn sure I do not want my kids to be good little subservient government employees. I want them to be free thinkers. I want them to be successful business people. I want them to be the exact opposite of what this school is trying to mold them to be. Now, there's one other thing that kind of dovetails into this a little bit about why the school doesn't want, I guess accountability is the word. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions and their policies by removing any possible way a child could document that. How about this for an example? This comes from Zero Hedge a couple days ago. Growing number of K-12 teachers charged with child sex crimes in recent month. Here's an analysis that comes from the Epoch Times. At least 181 K-12 teachers, principals, and staff have been arrested for child sex crimes in the United States so far this year, according to an analysis of reports. I'm not even going to read this. I'll link to it below. I want you to read it. But there's a lot of words in here that YouTube says, no, no, no. Now, it goes on to say which ones they are, who did what. They drop a couple of names. At least 181 educators have been arrested between January 1st and June 30th this year, according to a Fox News analysis. Arrests that did not make it in media reports were not even counted. So these are just the ones that were reported. Anything that got swept under the rug or a he said, she said, and like what they did with the priests in the 80s, they just moved this educator to a different school, hush hush, could be higher. Okay? And you want to make sure your kid doesn't have a phone to call for help? Good luck. You get your kids out of these public schools as fast as you can. Get a group of parents together, have a small teaching circle, or raise them at home. Do whatever you can to protect your kids. As a parent, that's your only job.